When it comes to the best learning practices and instructional practices for the MBTI preferences, I particularly enjoy the comparison when we're able to really compare and contrast what each one of these types enjoys or these preferences enjoy. And when we look at this, we're able to then modify classroom and learning experiences or teaching experiences to meet the needs of the students. So when you look at your sensing and intuition type, remember that within a group of individuals, you are going to have a greater likelihood of having a sensing intuition type than to have an intuition preference. And that's because sensing is 73.3% of our entire population. Now, if we contrast that, we're going to see that intuition is only 26.7% of our population. Remember again that these types of preferences, sensing and intuition, is all about how individuals are taking information in. As you look at these types, remember their questions and their keywords. So your sensing person is going to be more detail-oriented in contrast to the intuition who's an innovator. Your sensing person wants to know how things relate, and your intuition person wants to know how to solve a problem. So when you can combine these two questions into any kind of learning situation, you're going to be able to hit 100% of your students that have the sensing and intuition capabilities or the way that they take in their information. Remember also that your intuition person is more interested in the general context or generalities or general concepts than they are in the details. So let's look at some of the differences. For your sensing person, they're very active and they're verbal, and they do like to have some breaks, but they don't need them very frequently. They're very active in their environment, and they love to have a moderate pace. They really enjoy that moderate pace of instruction, and especially when it's combined with a structured learning environment. They like structure because they like details, and they like to know what they can depend upon. The intuition person is more unstructured because they like that creativity. Remember, their keyword is innovator. They love frequent breaks, and their breaks are needed so that they can start playing with information and making it and manipulating it so that they can be more imaginative with that knowledge. They like the if-then, cause-effect, a fast pace of instruction, and remember examples. And all of this is because they really are based on innovator. If you can remember intuition, innovator, you really are going to be able to succeed when it comes to teaching and aiding an intuition preference when it comes to a classroom situation or approaching new knowledge. So let's look at some of these quick similarities because these are great, and it's important for us to realize that they do have some really strong similarities which are going to aid in a classroom. So when you are looking at helping a sensing and intuition preferences, and even though they do have differences, remember that these are the similarities which are going to help you to create a common language within your classroom and a common learning environment. They're both very active learners that enjoy aesthetics. Now, active doesn't mean that they're verbal. It means that they are interested in interacting with their environment. And sometimes interacting with their environment may be through self-instruction. They like aesthetics. They like to assess and identify, and they enjoy problem solving. So if you can present some kind of problem out there, they will enjoy that. Visuals and relationships, patterns. Patterns are especially important for the intuition type, but sensing enjoys it as well. And then also that preview, making sure that they have some kind of idea of what is coming next.